Ukrainian air defenses have been quite well adapted to hit most of the missiles and drones.
Its victory in Ukraine is inevitable. This extraordinary operation shows that Ukraine is still in this fight.
Russia launched a $1.2 billion stronghold backed by tanks, artillery, and missiles to force open a corridor into Donbass. But in the first few hours, something went very wrong. Ukrainian drones and Vilkha-M strikes didn't just stop them. They turned Moscow's prize spearhead into a vulnerable target.
It is very obvious. What is different about this attack in a way that, well, Ukraine has launched massive attacks on Russia.
What single miscalculation allowed a smaller defending force to flip the momentum? And why did cheap drones outperform some of Russia's most advanced armored units? Stay with us, because the answer changes how we think about modern warfare itself. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now back to the video. At first glance, the offensive Russia launched across the Donbass should have been unstoppable. Tanks massed on the line, heavy artillery firing in long-range patterns, batteries of missiles sailing in from ships positioned in the Black Sea. Each piece enhanced the others. The armor was supposed to punch the hole, the missiles to blind the defenses, and the artillery to force Ukrainian gunners underground.
After failing to seize the capital Kyiv, Russia is now trying to take full control of the eastern region from Donbas to Crimea.
From Moscow's perspective, the choreography was precise. An overwhelming push designed to crush resistance within hours. And on paper, the Ukrainian side looked too thin to catch it. Commanders in the field expected their armored spearhead to carve a straight path through villages and reclaimed farmland toward fortified Ukrainian strongpoints. The air element seemed equally decisive. Russian Su-35s roared overhead to extend the corridor, assigned to sweep Ukrainian jets out of the skies. Those same fighters were covered by radar long-range strikes and electronic jamming, giving the impression of a complete combined arms assault. The armored columns rolled confidently forward with aviation above them and missiles streaking in from the horizon. If judged by sheer volume of firepower, Russia had no reason to believe the push could fail. Ukrainian manpower was stretched, their armored reserves committed to other fronts, and the static defenses looked shallow. From the outside, the campaign resembled a hammer blow pressed against a thin shield. But what Russian planners did not expect was depth where there appeared to be only surface. Ukraine had prepared a layered air defense in silence. Instead of scattering their systems, they stacked them so missiles and jets faced multiple engagement lines. At high altitude, long-range S-300 interceptors waited. Shorter-range Patriot systems set killing zones lower.
Ukrainian air defenses have been quite well adapted to hit most of the missiles and drones.
Russian cruise missiles that flew in staggered waves were intercepted at different levels, creating a vertical shield. Some were cut down far off course, others closer to target, but many never reached populated areas. Still, weakness remained. A forward fuel depot, partially camouflaged, was struck even after interception rates looked good. The explosion proved no system was perfect and gave Russian forces just enough feedback to continue their momentum. Ukraine countered in a way that didn't rely on superiority of firepower. MiG-29s and Su-27s scrambled not to fight directly, but to bait Russian pilots. They maneuvered within radar tracks to feign open-air combat, drawing Su-35s into zones where Ukrainian missiles lay hidden on the ground. Ground crews integrated into a networked kill chain lit up Russian aircraft as they closed in. What appeared to be a free sky suddenly became contested airspace. Each downed or damaged jet slowed momentum for the armored columns below. While this played out, smaller platforms started to turn the tide. Cheap drones, often dismissed as expendable, swarmed overhead. Some carried cameras relaying positions, others fed into wider data networks. Equipped with real-time reconnaissance, Ukrainian artillery no longer fired blind. Electronic warfare units disrupted Russian communications, while drones traced radio emissions back to armored clusters.
What we're seeing here is an extraordinary assault that not only is it a demonstration of Ukraine's ability to innovate.
Tank formations advancing with confidence found themselves spotted within minutes of movement. The most vivid scene unfolded at Holivka. Russian T-80 tanks pushed through farmland, dividing hedgerows and digging deep tracks into wet soil. Their engineers had tested the ground but overlooked automated mines seeded earlier. As one heavy tank rolled forward, mines triggered, halting the spearhead. Drones overhead marked the immobilized armor with infrared beams invisible to the naked eye. Within moments, Ukrainian artillery coordinates locked in. Shells landed with precision, knocking out vehicles stalled in the open. Survivors pulled back, but the formation was already splintered.
Strike Russia where it's not expecting it. It's also a clear indication that Russia is not invincible.
Where Russia expected a rolling wave of armor, it now saw smoke pillars jutting skyward, precision fire breaking the cohesion. That moment revealed the missing calculation. Russia assumed a forward push would overwhelm thin defenses, yet the reality was different. Ukraine's integration of drones, layered defenses, and cheap network tools had transformed the field.
Its victory in Ukraine is inevitable. This extraordinary operation shows that Ukraine is still in this fight.
Expensive tanks and jets became liabilities once spotted. The armored spearhead, meant to serve as the tip of a powerful offensive, crumbled into scattered fragments of metal across flat farmland.
There will be massive consequences for Russia if it renews its aggression, economic, financial, and other consequences.
What appeared at first to be a routine assault exposed something deeper. Russia's planning trusted weight and speed. Ukraine answered with coordination and tempo. What Moscow dismissed as improvisation proved strong enough to blunt a billion-dollar offensive. The initial collapse was not only a tactical setback, it shone a bright line toward the larger weakness Ukraine would soon exploit, shifting momentum from survival to dominance. Russia's billion-dollar stronghold didn't fall to overwhelming firepower. It broke apart because a smaller force used timing, coordination, and precision that the larger one never anticipated. Every drone flight, every hidden missile battery, pushed the momentum away from raw strength and toward intelligence-driven warfare.
A way that the Russian security services and military have been stunned by and were absolutely not ready for.
That has now become a thing of the past, and this war is now in a very different and a very difficult sort of a terrain.
If improvised networks and low-cost platforms can chew through armor columns and push back advanced jets, what does that say about future deterrence? Battles like this point forward. When entire fortresses can be undone by swarms that cost a fraction, the foundation of military power begins to look less stable than ever before.